Hello there, beautiful friends from around the world. I'm going to be your host, Blackenfist, and I'm going to do one of these things that Quaman, Geekdom, and Dragon Ball Nation already did. Why? Well, I just felt like I needed to get my thoughts out there, and I actually been thinking about doing something like this for a while now, and why not now? But yeah, this is just a place where I'm going to talk about with just minimum editing or no editing at all about things that, I don't know, that's on my mind, or things that just don't matter. So you've been warned, things that don't matter. But I'm here to take down a trip down memory lane back to probably, I think around the year 2008. We're going back to a wee Blackenfist, a Blackenfist of 16, 17, 18 years of age. If you want to know what I was wasting my life doing back then this is it. At least wasting my life watching certain YouTube videos. What I was doing back then. But, the reason that this topic came to mind specifically was because of the recent developments that happened. But I'll get to that at the end of the video, because I want to tell this story in chronological order. Now, some people... I'll get to it when I get to it. So it was 2008, and there was a lot of things I was watching on YouTube back then. Probably like the biggest thing was Alternate Reality Dragon Ball Z. That was a parody series of Dragon Ball made by this guy named Gozar. Now, he doesn't do anything anymore, but for those of you that weren't around back then, just to get a picture, I mean, the biggest parody series of Dragon Ball now is, of course, Team 4-Star with their Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Well, Gozar essentially was the biggest parody, at least on YouTube, before Team 4-Star. He was pretty big. Not bigger than Team 4-Star, obviously, but the biggest one. Anyway, he was the one who did all this stuff, and I enjoyed his stuff and everything. But something a little bit more obscure, and something a little bit, I guess you could say, more that less people knew. I'm not going to say that what I'm going to talk about here, which is DBZ Random, was big or anything. It definitely wasn't. It had its audience, but it wasn't something major. Some people, and before I continue, man, some people might say, Blackenfist, why do you like this so much? I honestly couldn't tell you. I might be tempted to say maybe it's nostalgia, that I had nostalgia for these videos, but as I'm about to tell you, it can't really be nostalgia, because even back in the day, I had a lot of affinity toward these videos. Even back then, I had a lot. Now, I have nostalgia for them now because time has passed, but this is definitely not true for back in the day. But anyway, back in the day, I discovered something called DBZ Random, and to make a long story short, it pretty much, I wasted countless hours probably rewatching these videos. No joke. This is no exaggeration, by the way. That's the reason why I'm making this video here. But I guess I should start with what is DBZ Random. Well, DBZ Random, if you guys don't know, is a video series similar to AMV Hell. Now, if you don't know what AMV Hell is, pretty much the concept of AMV Hell was incorporating little clips of would-be AMVs. Now, this is back when AMVs were a lot bigger. AMVs kind of have declined in popularity, I think, since the mid-2000s, I believe. But, AMV Hell was, it was one of those things. Now, I'll keep, just fast forward here. I didn't watch AMV Hell until much, much later after I saw DBZ Random, but that's pretty much what DBZ Random was. It was all Dragon Ball specific centric AMV Hell, where they would play like little clips of a Dragon Ball clip, and then they'd play some song or some movie clip or some internet video, and it's supposed to be funny or awesome or just amazing or whatever it was supposed to be. That was DBZ Random. I discovered it around 2008. I think the first one that there were 4 DBZ Random videos, I think, at the time that I discovered it. So 5 was the first new one that I discovered. The videos were made by this guy named, I think his name was Karibo Fan back then. And I remember that every time he would upload one of these videos, I would be in the comments. I would be in his channel comments too, and the comment of the video talking about, oh, how fantastic the video was, how amazing it was, and just like that. But so yeah, man. But I think to get a better picture of how obsessed I was with these things is that every time, like, eventually when like DBZ Random kept going and going, I collected all these videos on my PSP. Now, I don't, you know, I had my PSP to watch videos. This is before I had a phone, so if I wanted to listen to music or watch videos, that's what I would have. And I put all the DBZ Random videos there, and it sounds crazy now, but I would take them to school, and anytime I would just want to watch these freaking videos, anytime, I'm literally saying anytime, I would just pop it in and I would watch it. Man, I would show this to everyone I could show it to, and, you know, I just like, hey man, watch this, watch this, watch this. I don't know if everyone liked it, because I think that I was kind of a crazy guy. Maybe I am a crazy guy for liking it as much as I do, but I did. I mean, I'm not ashamed. I love these videos. And I would show it to everybody. Man, I got some good reactions. I think I had some good times really bonding with people showing these videos. I'm being serious. Like, maybe that's the reason why I had such an attachment to this whole thing. To these silly internet videos. Anyway, that was a whole thing on itself. I remember I remember showing it to this one kid in my I think it was my world geography class. Now, in that world geography class was probably one of the best classes ever, because the teacher, he was the coolest teacher I've ever had ever, man. And not only was he the best teacher, I had a really awesome guy in that class that I would talk to, and this is on a side note, but me and him actually wrote a comic throughout that whole year we were in his class, and literally, because it was world geography and it was so easy, we would literally get done with our work, or we would work on the comic at the same time we would be doing our work in the class. And man, there's a couple stories there. I'll tell you one. Like, for instance, I remember one time we had this sheet. I don't know. It was like some sheet for history, world geography, right? And my friend, he filled out all the answers as ridiculous things like SpongeBob SquarePants or, lyric quotes or anything. And when he turned it in, he got 100. I remember. And we had a great laugh over it. Yeah, and you could see why I enjoyed that class so much. But that was not the only reason I enjoyed that class. There was the guy, the teacher himself. He was actually a pretty cool guy himself. He apparently appeared in like a TV show. He was like an extra in a TV show, and he actually showed us that during class. So that was pretty interesting. But anyway, I actually showed this friend I was writing comics with. I actually remember in this class, I would bring my PSP with these DBZ Random videos, and I would show it to him in class. And we would just sit there, be watching these videos together in the middle of class. It was... it was something really. I actually can't believe it. Like, we were just sitting there just watching these videos during the middle of class. But yeah, man, we bonded over that. Aside from the comic, that was something that I did. Another thing I would also do is that during gym class, whenever we had to run or anything, or we had to do something, I would bring my PSP, put it in my pants, and then I would like get my headphones, and even though I couldn't watch it, this is how obsessed I was with these videos, man. I was literally possessed. I was possessed with the DBZ Random spirit. I'm being serious, man. I would put my PSP in my pocket and then just listen to them. I would just listen to these things, man. Yeah, something that I wouldn't do now, but damn. Yeah, that's something I did. I remember I had this really great memory. A great memory when DBZ Random 12 came out, I think it was. DBZ Random 12, I always liked the flow that Karibo fan had with his videos. He had always a good flow, like every clip would go into the next clip real nicely. And I think this was proven definitively in DBZ Random 12 when I was watching it for the first time. And there was a clip of Hercule, Mr. Satan, and falling down with that peanut butter jelly song. And I was like, in the moment of watching that, I was like, you know what would grow great after this clip is the Bill Nye the Science Guy theme. And then the next clip, boom, it was Dr. Brief, Bill Nye the Science Guy. I kind of lost it. I was like hyped. It was like if you would have filmed me, you would have thought that I was watching sports and my favorite team just scored a goal or something. That's how I was when I first reacted to that. It was rather something. It was almost like a fourth wall experience, man. Like the video was speaking to me. Yes, I know. Maybe I'm giving it too much credit. Who knows? Anyway, that was a pretty interesting thing. That was probably the only time that I anticipated that happening. But eventually, these videos, like a lot of the things from YouTube, they became part of the past. They became washed away. Karibo Fan, I think, opened up several accounts, but his channel and his videos kept getting taken down. Eventually, his channel got taken down for good, and all the videos were gone. I think this was around 2010, I believe, that they were gone for good. Or no, they weren't gone for good. His channel was gone for good. Speaking of his channel, he did upload a lot of other things, a lot of other AMVs and that I did watch. But of course, my main attraction to him, his videos was DBZ Random. But there were like there were like people that re-uploaded his videos. So what I'm trying to say is that eventually those re-uploaders eventually got their videos taken down too, and it's like you don't know what you got until you don't have it, right? When all the videos were kind of taken down completely off YouTube, his channel and the re-uploaders, I kind of was like, wait a minute, where's my DBZ Random fix? I kind of want to see these videos again, but they're not on YouTube anymore. Well, that's when I kind of started to be like, oh, man, I think I messed up by not downloading these videos when I had the chance. And then from then on, I had a quest. Yes, guys, I know this is sounding very grandiose and unnecessary for something so small, right? I had a quest. I was going to try to find every single DBZ Random video that was now off the internet. Because I tried, trust me, I tried. Every time a new... Because the DBZ Random videos would get periodically re-uploaded, occasionally. But they didn't exactly... it wasn't exactly... It was rare, pretty much. So every time that would happen, I would try to like download them immediately. And I did this over the course of years, literally years. Yes, I know. I'm obsessed. I'm kind of crazy. But yeah, I did this over the course of years. And I did eventually manage to get most of them. But I was still missing several. And most importantly, I was missing my favorite one, which really hurt me. I was missing that my favorite one, which my favorite one was 10, by the way. And by the way, this is on a side note. If you follow me on Twitter, there was that clip of the Super Smash Brothers theme along with the Ultimate Tenkaichi 22 or Ultimate Battle 22 opening. That clip. Now that clip wasn't straight from DBZ Random 10, but I made it myself. I extended it. The DBZ Random version was a little shorter, but that is actually the opening, the way it's DBZ Random 10 started. And I don't know, man. I thought it was amazing, man. The first time I saw that, it's just I don't know. When I was like 17, man, that was I thought that was so cool. I still kind of think it's cool now. I think that's why I freaking did that on Twitter. So it was, it was, I don't know. I just wanted to share it with people. But anyway, eventually I did gather most of the DBZ randoms, and after that, but I eventually got capped pretty much. I couldn't find the rest I couldn't find the rest of these videos, and I felt like I wasn't getting any breaks. I even, like, I think around 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years, or last year even, I think it was 2 years ago, I opened up a DBZ Random archive channel where I re-uploaded every single DBZ Random that I had, and in every single one, I commented in the comment section that, hey, I'm trying to get all these videos, and I also commented that I was going to try to remake these videos with better quality footage, which I'll speak to that later. But the DBZ Random videos, they were released in a different era of the internet, and a lot of the clips that were being used weren't exactly up to the highest quality that are now, that I would use or that are on the internet now. So I felt I actually was going to remaster or remake these videos, which I'll talk about later. But anyway, in every single DBZ Random video that I re-uploaded, I left this comment. I didn't get any responses, unfortunately. So, and eventually, go figure, the channel got taken down too, along with all the videos. And eventually, all the DBZ Randoms got taken down again. Like, every time they would get re-uploaded, they would get taken down once again. And eventually, as DBZ Random wasn't the biggest thing ever, so eventually people just stopped re-uploading it, and I thought that was kind of the end of the line. The beginning of this year, I thought that's the end of the line. There's no way I'm going to be able to recover these videos, or what I got is what I got, and that's, I guess, what I'm going to have to suffice. A couple months back, however, I did start trying to look for any life of DBZ Random. Yes, I know I was relentless, and I did find one thing. I didn't find DBZ Random, but I did find one thing. I found a video that I found a video that was specifically referencing DBZ Random. It wasn't a video that was DBZ Random. It was a video specifically referencing it, and that video, I had a feeling that whoever uploaded that video for some reason was talking to the guy who created DBZ Random, because in the comments section of this video, the Karibo fan, the guy who made DBZ Random, was actually having a conversation with the guy who uploaded this video. So I figured this is probably my best shot at actually getting someone to help me. So I left a comment in that video hoping for the guy who uploaded that video to respond to me and maybe helping me out a little bit in recovering these videos. I did get a response. It wasn't from the guy who uploaded the video itself. It was Little Karibo himself. Dun dun dun, the guy who created DBZ Random. I think I hit the jackpot. This happened like a month ago. I actually couldn't believe it that I actually, I found the guy again. Man, it was a long journey, man. But I found this guy again, and just to make, we got on Skype. I got talking to him. I got talking to him about how, I was a huge fan, and do you remember me from those days? Because I had conversations with him, and so I'm not going to reveal what we talked about because I think that was a private conversation. But the point is, I think it was surreal to finally get back in touch with him. And I got access to every single one of the DBZ Randoms, including my favorite one. That was actually something, man. That feeling of just great nostalgia that you get when you watch something old again, when you watch something from your childhood again, back, or you haven't seen something in years and you see it again. Man, I got that feeling watching DBZ Random 10 and the other ones that I hadn't seen in years. I got that feeling, man. I had the biggest smile on my face. And man, with getting all these DBZ Randoms, I then began on trying to actually put forth remaking DBZ Random. Now the thing is, remaking something like DBZ Random is going to be a monumental task, and I honestly don't think I have the time for it. So instead of remaking the whole series, I decided if I was going to remake anything, I'm going to remake number 10, because number 10 is my favorite. It's the one I have the most fond of. So I'm going to remake that one. And I actually am in the process of remaking DBZ Random 10. I think I'm around like 30% done with it. Something around those lines. And, when it's done, I'm going to try to share it with everyone. I think that actually when it's done, I will hold on for that. But recently, actually, this is another reason I actually made this video in the first place. I think that, I think finding Karibo fan, I think his name now is Clearin. Hold on, let me check just to make sure. Keelan, or Clearin, I think it is. Whatever. I think Karibo fan. We've been calling him that ever since. Karibo fan. I think I kind of inspired him to make more, or I don't know if he had the intentions of making more. But the thing is, make a long story short, Karibo fan made another DBZ Random. He called it DBZ Random, or Neo DBZ Random. Something completely different. Completely new. And, man, I had a field day. I already rewatched the freaking video many times. It was like a feeling of nostalgia along with something new, because he did reuse old concepts that were in the old videos, but then he put in new stuff. So it was just a ball of good feelings when I watched that. So I'll put that video in the description if you want to watch it. And actually, if you want to know what I'm talking about, then I'll put that video in the description, because that's kind of what it was. But anyway, that's kind of the story. Yeah, man. I guess the only other thing I could say is I had a huge in-joke that I think that I still carry on today with my brother and my dad. That anytime I would hear a song from DBZ Random, instead of, saying that song is from that artist or whatever, I would always say that song's from DBZ Random. If I heard it on DBZ Random, I would say it's from DBZ Random. And I would always tell this to my brother and my dad, and it became an in-joke eventually. So, but yeah, man, that's how much I was into this crap, man. But yeah, man, I don't know how many of you guys are even gonna care about this kind of story or this at all. I mean, I understand this means absolutely nothing to you. I just decided to talk about it because this really has been on my mind, and with all the new things coming, with pretty much Karibo fan coming back to make a new DBZ Random, with me finding him recently and him uploading a new one, and then me actually trying to remake DBZ Random 10. I just felt like DBZ Random has been on my mind a lot lately, so I just figured I would spill the beans all out in this video. But whatever. This has been really Blackenfist banter. This has been it, really. I will probably be making more videos, more banter. It's going to be about wildly different subjects. It's not going to be about internet stuff. Maybe next time it might be about who knows what it will be like in a future episode. But I don't, if you didn't like what I talked about in this episode because you just couldn't give a fuck about it, that's fine. I understand, guys, if you listening to this, you don't give a single shit about what I'm saying. It means absolutely nothing to you. And I completely understand if you think I'm crazy for liking this series too much. You can think whatever. I mean, I'll still like it, but, I understand if you don't give a fuck. I understand if you don't really care. I understand if you don't get it. That's fine. But anyway, guys, if you don't like it, maybe, next time I'll talk about something completely different. So maybe that'll be enough for you guys. But anyway, guys, that has been Blackenfist banter. And, hopefully if you did like it, then thanks, man. Really, because I would imagine most people wouldn't like this. But anyway, guys, and now then, instead of just rambling on, I think I'm just going to leave here. And, guys, as always, I'm out, man.